So today we are talking about a historical poem, that is Easter Uprising, which is in English literature, and it is written by the poet William Butler Yeats. It is a historical poem, and talking about its background, it is based on the historical event, that is Easter Uprising. And in 1914, what happened, that England was in under control of the Britishers, and Britishers promised Ireland to make it an independent country to free Ireland. But in 1914, World War I started, and Britishers applied home rule into Ireland. So the Britishers promised that when World War I would stop or would get over, then only we will make Ireland free. And because of that, Ireland got frustrated and they began Easter Uprising in the year 1916, and that is why the poem here named as Easter 1916. So the Britishers started murdering the leaders of Easter Uprising, and some were very close friends of our poet William Butler Yeats. And he wrote this poem to reveal his aggression and sadness. And as I discussed, it is a poem of 4 stanzas. So let's give an introduction or line by line explanation of our stanza first. So beginning with the first stanza, I have met them at the close of the day. It means the poet William Butler Yeats have met them at the close of the day. That means the end of the day or the evening time. So the poet have met the revolutionaries at the close of the day, at the end of the day, coming with vivid faces. That the revolutionaries were coming with vivid means happy faces. That the revolutionaries were coming with happy faces. From counter or desk among grey 18th century houses. That means the poet have met them, the revolutionaries, at the end of the day or the evening time, and they were coming with their happy faces from the counters or the desks of their shops or stores, which are made among the grey houses of the 18th century. I have passed with a nod of the head or polite meaningless words. That the poet have passed by nodding his head or by using polite words that were meaningless, or have lingered a while and said polite meaningless words, or the poet had stopped there for a while and then have used polite words that were meaningless, and thought before I had done of a mocking tale or a jibe to please a companion around the fire at the club. That means while talking to the revolutionaries, while talking or by using those polite meaningless words, the poet was thinking about what to say at the club around the fire to please their companion, to find a mocking tale or a jibe to please the companion. So the poet in this para says that when he was talking to them, the revolutionaries, he was thinking about a mocking or a funny tale or a jibe, or the words that will please their companion, that will please when he will go at the club around the fire, that will please his companion or the people around him. Being certain that they and I but lived where motley is worn, all changed utterly, a terrible beauty is born. So the poet here is saying that being certain means surely they and I, but lived where colorful or different people live, or people go for work, talk together, but everything is changed. Everything is changing slowly and slowly. Everything is changing minute by minute. And there is a very famous line which is famously used, which is most of the times used as a famous line of English literature, a terrible beauty is born. Moving on to the second stanza. In this stanza, the poet will talk about the people that were involved in Easter Uprising. So the poet starts with that women's days were spent in ignorant goodwill, her nights in argument until her voice grew shrill. What voice more sweet than hers when young and beautiful? So the poet here talks about a woman whose name is Constance Markievicz. that women's days was spent in ignorant goodwill. This line means that this woman showed her almost goodwill but was ignored by all. Her nights in argument until her voice grew shrill. So, she died for her country and her nights were spent in arguments until her voice grew shrill as she was a politician. So, her voice grew shrill, that is because she was a politician. And what voice more sweet than hers when young and beautiful, that the poet here says that when she was young and beautiful, her voice was sweeter. Her voice was such a melody. So when she was young and beautiful, her voice was very sweet. But when she involved in politics, her voice grew shrill. She rode 2 harriers. That means she was previously involved in some hunting also. Next he talks about a man. This man had kept a school and rode our winged horse. That means the other man he is talking about, the poet is talking about, is involved in Easter, and he had a school, he kept a school, and he rode his winged horses. That means he was a poet. This other, his helper and friend, and he talks about the third person, that is also a man, and he was a helper and friend of the first man. This other, his helper and friend, was coming into his force. He might have won fame in the end, so sensitive his nature seemed, so daring and sweet his thought. So the third person the poet is talking about is his helper and friend of the first man, and he was also coming into the force of the first man, and the poet is sure that he will get fame at the end. Okay, so he talks about the third man, and the poet says about the third person that he is so sensitive by his nature, he is so daring and sweet by his thought. So this other man I had dreamed a drunken, vainglorious lout. So one was the women, second was this man, and the third person was his helper and friend, and the fourth person is another man that the poet had dreamed. He was a drunken, vainglorious lout. So he had 3 characteristics, that he had a drunkard character, and he was vainglorious, that means he was very egoistic, and a lout, that means he was a very thug kind of person. He had done most bitter wrong to some who are near my heart. That fourth person has done many bitter things with the people who are closer to the heart of the poet. So the poet says that he had done bitter to some of the people who are close to my heart. But it is the fact that he was involved in Easter, that is the reason I have to name him here in this poem, in this verse. So what is the wrong thing that this fourth character had done? I'll tell you. This fourth character, his name is MacBride, and he was involved in some kind of relation with Morgana, and this Morgana was the girlfriend of W.B. Yeats. So yet I number him in the song. So that is the reason, as he was also involved in the revolutionary of Easter, so he has to name him also in this verse. So let's continue. He too has resigned his part in the casual comedy, that he was also involved in this revolutionary movement, in this Easter uprising. That's why he has to name him in this verse, in the casual comedy. So we will get to know further in the further video or in the further stanzas that why Yeats is saying this as a casual comedy. He too has been changed in his turn, transformed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. So the poet again says that he is changed. He is somewhat changed because he is involved in the revolutionaries part. He also died in the Easter like other revolutionaries, and he is too changed because he has fully done his work in Easter. And a terrible beauty is born, and one of the famous line of English literature that is shown in this poem. Moving on to the third stanza, hearts with one purpose alone through summer and winter seem, enchanted to a stone to trouble the living stream. The horse that comes from the road, the rider, the birds that range. So, the revolutionaries had only one purpose in their heart which doesn't change, like summers and winters, and their hearts were like stones which troubles the stream flowing. The hearts of the revolutionaries were like the stones that is between the living stream, the stream which is flowing. And the poet here describes that a horse is coming from the road, and the rider he is talking about, and the birds that are coming. So the horse is coming from the road, and the rider who is riding the horse, and the birds that are flying by crossing each cloud. Tumbling cloud means that clouds are crossing each other, and all these things are changing minute by minute. In fact, the shadow of the cloud, a shadow of the cloud on the stream changes minute by minute. That means the shadow of the cloud on the stream, which is forming on the stream, is also changing minute by minute. A horse hoof slides on the brim, a horse splashes within it, a long-legged moor hens dive, and hens to moor cocks call. That means all these things are changing. The horse is changing, the rider is changing, the birds that are flying are changing, and the cloud shadow is changing. These all things are changing minute by minute, but the stone in the heart of the revolutionaries doesn't move at all, doesn't changes at all. So these lines explanation that the horse get into the stream and it plashes or splashes into the stream. Then the moor hens, the hens which live in water, and those were long-legged, and they calls moor cocks. All these things are changing minute by minute, but the stone is never changed. The people, the revolutionaries involved or participating in Easter have stone hearts which never change. Moving on to the fourth stanza, too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. That means a long sacrifice can only make heart as stone. Oh, when may it suffice? That the poet here asks, but when we will be able to say that it's enough, it's sufficient, when we will be able to say. That is heaven's part, our part to murmur name upon name. That means this is the heaven's part to think about when we will say, or this will be decided by God. Our part is what? Our part is to murmur a name upon name. As a mother names her child when sleep at last has come on limbs that had run wild. That means as a mother takes the name of her child when her baby sleeps because his or her limbs had run wild and the child is tired. So he relaxes by coming to his mother. So as a mother takes the name of his child, similarly we can only take the name of those who lost their lives. What is it but nightfall? That the poet here says that it is only sleep. No, not night but death. That the poet here says that it is only sleep, and the next moment, at the just next moment, he says that no, not. It's not sleep or night, but it is death. Was it needless death after all? That means here he questions that what kind of death? It was totally needless. The death of the revolutionaries was totally needless. For England may keep faith, for all that is done and said. We know their dreams enough. That means when England was still on its promise that it will free Ireland after World War I. After World War I will get over. And if England does the same according to his promise, their sacrifice would be wasted. That is why casual comedy. That when England was ready to get his promise done, when England was ready to get its promise already fulfilled to Ireland, then their sacrifice would get wasted. That is why the poet says in the second para, in the second stanza, that it is a casual comedy. We know their dreams enough. We know that what were their dreams? It was to free Ireland. To know they dreamed and are dead, and what if excess of love bewildered them till they died? We know that their dream was to free Ireland from Britishers, but they all are dead, and as their love for their country, and that was an excess, so it confused or bewildered them, it confused them until they died. And moving on to the next part, I write it out in verse. That means the poet here, Yeats, is writing it out in a verse or poetry about the names of the revolutionaries that were involved in Easter Uprising. Macdonagh and MacBride and Connolly and Pearse. So these were the names that were involved in Easter Uprising. And now and in time to be, when wherever green is worn are changed utterly, a terrible beauty is born. That means these were the revolutionaries, Macdonagh, MacBride, Connolly and Pearse. These were the revolutionaries that were involved in Easter Uprising, and the poet begins with, and now wherever green is worn, those revolutionaries would be remembered. Actually, the green color is symbolized as the official color of Ireland. So their sacrifice made them at their higher level and are changed utterly, and everything is slowly, minute by minute changed. And the poem ends by, a terrible beauty is born.